World changer, history maker. We gon' make some history tonight. We gon' make some history tonight.
Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, Refined and Unfiltered. Today we're going to talk about the importance of having a plan, specifically a financial plan. And I think that the majority of Americans don't have a financial plan, and they really just, it's like once you retire, then you're just going to draw on whatever assets that you have, and you're just going to move through retirement without really making a plan for your money. And I think that a lot of people don't want to work with a financial advisor or just have never thought about it because they're nervous or scared or just nervous about being vulnerable. Finances are a touchy subject for a lot of people, and I think that a lot of people just kind of put those in their pocket and just kind of put that subject away, and it's not for anybody to talk about. I think finances can even be a struggle between in households between husband and wife, and so once you put that out there and start talking about it, everything's out in the open. But a majority of people that I work with have never even thought about having a plan, and they don't even know what that would look like. And so one of the things that we do at Refined Wealth Solutions to start people off in that process is, number one, just getting a chance to know them. I think that you have to know your clients in order to take that step of financial planning with them. And so that's really where we start. And we just kind of build upon that. And I always tell my clients that we do forward thinking and backwards planning. And so we do goal-based financial plans. And so we really want to leave no stone uncovered when we do a plan. And so from start to finish, we want to know everything. We want to know all the details so that we can make a comprehensive plan that's unique to you and your goals, or you and your spouse's goals and family's goals. And so the way we start is we start off by, what are your goals? Realistic and wishes, and we start out with them, and we just kind of work backwards, and we start to uncover things that a lot of times people haven't even talked about with their significant other. It's just goals that they have dreamed about and they haven't put it out in the open, and it's a really unique time. I call it the discovery meeting with my clients. It's usually a 2-hour meeting, and we just, it's a conversation more than it is just me asking questions and taking notes, but it's a time for me to get to know them on a deeper level and be able to articulate and pull back the onion a little bit on those goals and what that looks like. So for example, a lot of people either want to travel when they retire, or they want to move somewhere warm. So whether that's Florida, Arizona, but they want to move somewhere for 3 to 6 months or travel for that time. And so the way we articulate that in the plan is we just break that goal down and help them figure out, do we have the assets to get us to that goal? Or is that something that we have time to plan for and we can actually build into the plan? But we would just take that and look at it backwards. So take the goal and then figure out, how can we take steps to achieve that, and start saving for that if we haven't? And if we have, we break that goal down from, what's it going to take to run if we're going to buy a house in Florida? What is it going to take to, if we bought the house in Florida, what's it going to take to pay the taxes and the living expenses that comes with owning a home. If we're going to put it on Airbnb or Vrbo, what does that look like? The maintenance of that and the cost, and then what would my clients net from that? Is it enough to cover the mortgage, or do we have a mortgage? And so those are the types of things, and we go all the way from wishes like that or wants to healthcare, what it looks like to have healthcare once you're at Medicare age, in your 60s, and or if you have private health care that you have to get because you retire before 65, as well as Social Security and how to optimize that. Social Security for a lot of people is a touchy subject, but if we can break that down for people and help them understand the ins and outs of that and when to take it. Most people, when they turn 62, they think, well, I'm going to turn my Social Security on, just because that's really what the world tells us is that's when we can turn it on, and so we're going to. And a lot of times they don't realize that they're missing out on those increases that they get every year that they wait on their Social Security. So those are the types of things that we really we put into the plan, and we ask those questions and help clients really try to put the numbers with the goals. And so the plan does a really good job of helping with that. And we run a ton of different scenarios to ensure that we've covered all of our bases. And the really cool thing with our plans is our plans are an ever-changing document, so nothing is set in stone. So once we do the plan, we might make changes if a big life event happens, or they retire sooner than they're going to. And I think it just really gives a lot of clients a sense of security. Like we've done our due diligence, and we know that we can retire at this date, but we can also retire a little bit sooner if we wanted to. And also with the sense of security, helping them answer those questions like, am I going to run out of money? Or do I have enough money to be really generous in retirement? And those are valid concerns and questions for a lot of people. And so as we go through that plan, my team and I, after we hit the discovery meeting and learn more about our clients, we start to work on that plan. A lot of our plans take several hours to put together. And then once we have our plan, we present it to our clients. And then after that, we do what's called implementation, and we start implementing the things that we've talked about in the plan. And then from there, our plans become kind of the center of a lot of our conversations moving forward. And so it gives us a nice basis of where to start and where to go after we have that for our clients. So I would suggest that if you're listening to this and you haven't sat down with your spouse, or even if you're single, to consider doing a financial plan and getting your finances and giving yourself more security. And it just gives you a sense of there's no more fear with that. And if you're in your 40s and you're going to retire in 20 years, you still have time to get to the point that you want to, and you can still reach your goals. And so hopefully that gave some more clarity on financial planning and what that looks like. And if you think that you're not a candidate for financial planning, more than likely you are. Financial planning, there's so many different depths to it and complexities. Somebody's plan could be super complex and take more time and planning, but your plan might be a little simpler. I would say the earlier you start in life, the more simple that your plan could be. And then as you move through your different stages of life, the plan becomes a little more complex because we're adding different variables to it. But I would consider talking to your financial advisor, or if you don't have one, seeking one out. And getting a financial advisor is kind of like finding a doctor, finding the right one that fits with what you need and your family. And so with that, we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Maker. We gon' make some history tonight. We gon' make some history tonight. Straight up. We gon' make some history tonight.